Hello there, my stamping friends. Susan here, Pumpkin Hill Stampers. So we have our first fun fold project for the month of September. This one is a book fold, which we've done before, but this one has a gift card section in it. Okay? And we're actually going to make the whole base of the card out of designer series paper, which I think is kind of fun because you see both sides of the paper in that way. Now, you could make it out of cardstock. You're just going to use the measures as always. It's just going to be a thicker card, so just take that into account. Okay, so I'm going to use the new online exclusive paper. This one's called Season of Green and Gold. So as you can imagine, papers are green and gold. Some green foil in the card paper. So here's just a quick glimpse at some of the different patterns that come in the group. And I'll flip those over for you, and you can see that the back has more stunning greens and golds patterns. Okay, so for today, for this project, I'm going to use this shiny gold and vanilla pattern to make my project. And the inside, oh, see, now I've made a real mess of it. The inside will be the green, which is a shaded spruce. Shaded spruce color. Okay, so like I said, this one could just be a book fold and you could make it out of cardstock, but we're going to make the whole thing out of designer series paper. Okay, so to start, we're going to get our base, which is going to be 4 by 12. So this really works with a 12-inch piece of cardstock or a 12-inch piece of designer series paper. Okay, so 4 inches. I'm going to cut that all the way across. Okay, so I like it when we can get maximum use out of our paper. We won't have any weird scrap bits. Then we're going to need a liner for our project. Okay, and because it's 4, we only need 3 3/4 by 5. Okay, so 3 3/4 by 5. Okay, now, then we need to score that 12-inch piece of designer series paper. So if you look at your template, okay, and you've got your measures on the back, or if you look at the tutorial, whatever you want to do, or follow along with me on the video, that's fine. So we need 3 score lines. Now, if you have a directional paper, you want to be careful how you put your score lines on it so that your outside is going to fold properly. So just think about that as you're scoring. But for this piece, it's not going to matter because it's just one nice solid print. So I'm going to flip this over, and the first one I'm going to put in is at 5 1/4. Scoring at 5 1/4. Okay, then I got to open my arm because I have 12 inches here. Then I'm going to go to 6 1/4. Now 6 1/4 on these guys is a little bit tricky. It's kind of right in the middle here. So 6 1/4. There we go. Okay. And then I need one at 10 1/2. So slide this all the way down to 10 1/2. And one more score. Okay. So the 5 1/4 and the 6 1/4 are the book fold section, and then this last section is going to be our section for the gift card. Okay, so I'm just going to score this and crease it with my bone folder along those score lines. Make sure it's square. And we have one more here. Okay, so when you end up with it, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 sections. Now this is where your base is going to go in before we put any of this sections together. So if you want to stamp first, you could stamp first, or if you don't want to put the book fold together yet because you want to do your stamping before you could just make a bunch of these and set them aside, and just know that after you stamp, you'll have to close up the book fold part. But I'm just going to go ahead and put this on the inside. Of course, I got to shake my glue a little. Maybe it'll work. Come on, glue. Well, no, that's just ridiculous. Okay. So, I must have used more of it on those templates than I thought. So here's a new one. Okay, so just a little bit of glue around the edges. And so this is going to go on the back section, the section that is 5 1/4 by 4. So it's just going to sit on the inside in the middle, just like that. Okay? Now, we're going to do this section next. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to flip it over, and with a punch, this one's retired, so with a punch or a die, just go ahead and make yourself a notch. Just a little notch, so that when you slip your gift card in there, there's easily to get it out. Okay? Now, for this, you're just going to put a little bit of adhesive along the edge here. Okay? And you're going to push that down and let it adhere for a moment, because liquid adhesive takes a little time to stick to the other side. Now this might be where you want to use tear and tape or a different adhesive, totally up to you, but you just want to glue down the edges, okay? So if I come back to my template and I slip out my little gift card sample, okay, it wants to be able to slide in there easily. Okay, so you can do it like that, you can even put it in like this, however you want to do it. Even if you were going to put cash in a card, you could slip cash in there. That would be just fine. Okay, so I glue down my book fold section. Okay, so my book fold's going to end up being like this. Well, I actually have some retired, I have a little note, it's retired, gold ribbon, and I thought this was maybe a good chance to put it on to a card. So I'm going to take myself a sample of the ribbon. So let's see, I probably want 3 or 4 lengths. I'm going to go 4 lengths, because maybe I'll actually try to tie a bow. Alright, I'm going to go 4 lengths. And before I put this together, I'm going to put this in the center. Okay? In the center about 50-50. And now I'm going to adhere this middle 1-inch bookbinding piece down. Okay? So I'm just going to fold that over. Now if you want it in the middle of that, you can position it before you really adhere it down. So however you want to position it. And then just go ahead and press and hold for that to really get to know each other and bind. Okay, so there's our little book fold piece of it. Then I'm just going to turn this and I'm going to attempt to tie a bow. Let's see how my fingers work today. You know what, I'm going to use my little trick of a glue dot to hold that down. Bear with me while I get a glue dot. I'm just going to put that down in the middle there. So now I'm going to tie my knot and push that to my glue dot, so that'll help hold me that in place. And then I'm just going to make, I could just do a double knot, but I'm actually going to try to make my bunny ear bow, so let's see. Alright, 1, 2, and slip that through and tie bow. Well, it's not the prettiest bow, but it'll work. Maybe it won't work. Let's see. 2 bunny ears, pull it taut, and then you just kind of have to wiggle it back out and give it some tightening. I don't know, I don't think I like that bow. So I'm just going to do a double. So 1 knot and then a 2nd knot, and then we'll trim it off. Sometimes it works great, sometimes not so much. So you've always got the cheater bow to do instead. So that's fine. Little bow. So I'm just going to take my 2 edges up and trim them off to match. Okay, so we've got our DSP cover, we've got our book fold, we've got our indent for our gift card, we've got the liner. So now I'm just going to dress this up with a tag on the front. So I have the new Iconic Imagery stamp set, and I've already done a die that comes with the dies that coordinate in the Very Vanilla. And I'm just going to stamp on here. Let's see, I think I want to do Grateful for You. So I'm going to get Grateful out, which is there. And I'm going to get out For and You, which are 2 separate words. Where is For? I see You. You. And It is in here. The season 4. It's way down here. Wow. Okay. So, grateful for you. So let's see. I'm going to build my sentiment. So I'm going to put grateful here. I could put for you underneath, or I could put it kind of side and side. I think I want to go underneath, because maybe I'll do some edge stamping as well. Okay. If I can get it off my finger. There. So I'm just reusing my grid sheet to help me line up the words, and the block will just go down on top. Go on. Stay there. Come off my finger. That's it. Just lay it down. Lay down. There. Let's see. Put my block over the top. Well, that's not quite stare at all. Let's take this off. Alright, 4 and U. Let's see if we can just line these two up. They are sticky. Okay, 4 and U. Come on, guys, behave. It never gives me this much trouble. Alright. Alright, let's do them one by one then. If it's not going to cooperate with me. I wanted to show you that you could put all 3 down and 1 on stamp, but my fingers don't want to cooperate, or my stamps don't, so I'm going to do them separate. So I've got grateful. I'm going to stamp it there. Alright, so since I can't get them to be on the block at the same time, I will just put one on and then the other one. It's kind of like type setting. Grateful for. Take that one off. And then put on you. There we go. Grateful for you. Okay, so now I'm just going to take this little stamp to just create some leaves on the edges. So I'm going to come back and use this one. It's a little bit bigger and I can see through it. And I'm just going to do some edge stamping, just so it's not quite so big of a tag without any kind of embellishment on it. Okay, so all that said and done, I'm just going to pop that with dimensionals onto the front of my card, and then we will be done with this one. Alright, looks like I'm using scraps from my edge today. I've got this end, that end, some down the middle. So lots of support for my tag there. And that can go, there. Go right there. Okay? Alright, so there it is. There is our book fold with gift card holder. So, you know, you could really make these with lots of different themed paper so that they're ready to go for whatever occasion you have, graduation, wedding, birthday, you know, whatever happens to be that, a thank you. And then you just slip your gift card in there and you've got a nice pretty card with paper inside and out, and it's ready to go. Now, one other note. If you don't want to make gift card holders, maybe you just don't give gift cards, right? A lot of people give electronic gift cards now. So whatever you're doing, you could make the same card, and you could just, instead of cutting this out, you could just glue this down, adhere this down as a flap. So there'd be a little bit of pattern paper on the inside to go with your card. So you can do it either way. Like, you know, it's your card. Make it your way. Alright guys, let me know that you stopped by and watched the video if you liked the project. And I'll have the next one ready for you just like that. Alright, see you again. Bye-bye.